We want to take you right now to Midland, Texas. And okay, let's get to the news conference right now because of an active shooter situation in Midland, Texas.
We want to reach out to you and just make you aware of some things that have occurred this morning. Many of you are already aware that we have had an active shooter in our community. We want to start off by saying that our thoughts and prayers are absolutely with the victims and with their families, with our first responders, with all of the medical staff that are responding this morning. This has been a process with a lot of cooperation with a lot of different groups, and so we want you to hear us say that our thoughts and prayers are with you. We're in strong communication with all of those teams and just want to share some details with you. So I'm going to be referencing my notes so that I don't miss anything. The first thing is, yes, we did have an active shooter, and we already have a perimeter established. The situation is now secured in that area, but we're still asking that all Midlanders stay put. If you're in that area, you don't need to be out and driving around or going to try to see anything. Officers are containing the situation, and we ask that you respect that perimeter. All entities responded on scene, and we have a lot of the partner agencies from the county, from other surrounding communities, and we're really thankful for the response that they've also made. And we also want to let you know that we do have 11 known victims at this time. There's at least one victim that is dead on the scene. We don't have any other details to disclose at this time, but that's the situation as of right now. This is, of course, an ongoing situation, and we don't want to confirm anything or give any other particular details before we have a thorough investigation. And so our goal here is to reassure you that we do have strong response from our local Midland Police Department as well as our region, and that we're going to be continuing to give you updates as we have confirmed details. We want you to know that Facebook has had a national outage today. Many of you may be aware of that, and we know that a lot of Midlanders do get their news from Facebook, and so if you would like the most up-to-date information, we've had success in getting Twitter to transmit that quickly, and so you can reference the City of Midland communication pages on Twitter if you're having trouble with Facebook or Instagram. We're going to continue to try to post on all outlets as much as possible. The blood bank need is not immediate. We've had a conversation as recently as right before this press conference. The blood bank need is not immediate, but we know that there may be future needs. And so if you have a willingness to go to our local blood banks to give blood, we invite you to do that. We would also say that the food and donations, many of our Midland community are going to want to reach out and make donations for our first responders and for the families of these victims. We ask that you do those things through the United Way so that we have one specific location that's disseminating those things and making sure that the needs are addressed. They're collaborating with our local food bank, with other different groups to make sure that all of those needs are covered. So please direct yourself to United Way. We want to also comment that there is a family reunification center that is set up at Midland Memorial Hospital at this time. And so if you have questions about one of your loved ones and you want to confirm anything, we would direct you there. I'm going to share a phone number, and then we'll also be putting that out on our socials. But that phone number for the Family Reunification Center is 432-631-4689. Let me say it again. It's 432-631-4689. If you have questions about someone that you're concerned about in our community, then that would be a place where you could go and get more information. If you'd like to go to the hospital in person, we would direct you to the chapel at the hospital to be able to get more information. You can talk to that Family Reunification Center there at the chapel at the hospital. I want to make sure that you understand that this is all hands on deck. All of our community responders are participating in addressing the situation right now, and we're committed to staying in that shape until we have everything addressed and fully wrapped up. So I believe Mayor Pro Tem Stretcher Burks would like to make a comment as well. You want to step forward?
Can we give him the mic that I gave you on?
I'll just stand close by and you can.
Thank you, Mayor. Amy Stretcher Burks, Mayor Pro Tem. I just want to say our thoughts and prayers are with the victims, their families, and everyone impacted by this tragic incident. We're also praying for law enforcement officers, first responders, and the surgical teams working tirelessly to protect lives and provide care during this difficult time. Please pray for Midland. Most importantly, please pray for those impacted. Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah. And so we want to close. We will take a few questions from the media that's here, but I first of all want to say...
Okay, you're listening to a news conference right now from officials in Midland, Texas. This is about an active shooter investigation. Let's listen in.
Is confirmed to be killed by this individual. We also don't have any confirmed details about any of the other victims that are in the hospital, but we will be continuing to follow up.
Some of our community members reported that they were getting an active shooter alert, and some people got a stay away alert, and some people got one, not the other. Would you be able to clarify who got which alert?
We have a geographic perimeter system that we are able to specifically identify cell phones that are in the geographic perimeter that we're trying to close down. So those people within that geographic perimeter received that text message to stay in place and not to get out and drive around. The rest of the community should have received just a notification of the incident and keeping them updated.
Is there more than one suspect?
At this time, there's only one known suspect.
And regarding that suspect, is he in custody or is he still out?
He is contained.
Do we have a timeline of when shots started this morning?
I don't have a specific timeline. Some of those details and some of the early events are still being investigated.
And just for specific details, do you know the area in which he is detained right now? Or?
He is detained in Southwest Midland, 4600 block of West Wall at this time.
Would you say it's a standoff?
Yes. There's SWAT on the scene, and there are multiple agencies responding.
Do we know where the situation started?
The situation we believe to have started in Southeast Midland and progressed across South Midland.
PD was dispatched at 8:03.
PD was first dispatched at 8:03.
And fire at 8:08.
And fire department was dispatched at 8:08, and then we had all of the other regional agencies responding in direct sequence after that. Excuse me.
Do we know?
Sorry, go ahead.
Do we know when shots were fired at what time?
We don't have all of those details confirmed at this time.
Can you just remind residents why they might have not received notice as early as possible and where they can receive further updates moving forward?
We do want to restate that Facebook and Instagram and other platforms have had national outages, and so there was a delay in being able to communicate some of those things as early as we would have liked. So if you have questions and you're having trouble finding what you need, we would direct you to the City of Midland Instagram and Facebook page, but also to Twitter. We've had greater success in getting those things transmitted quickly.
Do you know the status of any officers? Have any officers been hurt?
I'm not aware of any impact to officers at this time.
Any other questions?
All right. Thank you, media, for being here and covering this. We will have updates as we have more information. Again, Midlanders, continue to pray for those that are impacted by this, and we will give you more information as we have it. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
For those just joining us, you've been listening to a news conference there from officials in Midland, Texas. This is about an active shooter situation. They gave some more details about exactly what's going on. 11 known victims. At least one of those victims is dead. They also say the suspect is contained. That's all authorities are saying at this time. So exactly what that means, not clear yet. But I want to bring in retired NYPD Sergeant Felipe Rodriguez. Thank you for joining us today, Sergeant. We appreciate your time. They're saying that people should stay put, so don't go outside, don't go to the scene and try to figure out what's going on. From your experience, why do you think that is?
At this point, what we have is a very chaotic scene. It looks like we have more than one incident, an initial incident. Now it led to going to another location. And we're constantly just seeing these continuous issues of mass shootings. We've already had 222 of them in 2026. And it just seems to be the point that it is an epidemic at this time.
Yeah.
And we just want to be able to control the situation and establish a command post.
Yeah, and clearly we are still waiting for more information from authorities there. But when they say that the suspect is contained, what does that mean? Does that mean that suspect is still barricaded wherever they locked themselves up into, or has the suspect been arrested or killed? What's your take?
At this point, contained, it just shows that he's in a location. They're aware that he's there. They might be trying to establish, getting their hostage negotiation protocol where they're trying to get some sort of communication to find out, either the motive, who else is in there, what kind of medical aid could be rendered at the time. So at this point, we're in the gathering of information phase. And we actually have to go back now and see what happened in that preliminary incident that initiated this whole active shooting. So the investigation is still ongoing. So that's why we get the sporadic, bits of information going back and forth until we, initiate contact with them and see what's going on or the motive for this shooting. We still don't know what we need.
Sergeant, I've covered my share of active shooter investigations, and oftentimes you find that you're all just waiting out there trying to see what comes next. This could take hours. It could take the entire day. What do you think goes into, I guess, the police officers and authorities officially deciding to go into a house or room, wherever that suspect is, to actually get them out, as opposed to trying to negotiate for hours?
Well, correct. At this point, what's going to precipitate that type of level of escalation is definitely his actions. If we start hearing gunfire again, the protocol has changed over the years. Now we're going back to the old protocol where we have a hostage situation. But most active shooters, it's been a continuous where they're, implementing this firearm over and over again. But if they do hear gunshots, guess what? The game changes, and what we call is an active shooter scenario, and then it's what they call taking out an immediate threat. And that's why things will change. The moment we hear gunfire, we're going to go and try to resolve that issue.
Talk to us more about why it's so important for people in the area, people who live nearby, to listen to authorities when they say, hey, don't go to the scene trying to check out what's going on. Just make sure you stay put in your house.
The most important thing, like I tell people, the moment you do show up, you don't understand. With a mass casualty incident like this, the most important thing is getting what? The medical help in there. Because at the end of the day, we do want to save lives. And people just showing up, it blocks up roadways. It can make it a lot more difficult for an ambulance, a fire truck that needs that type of clearance to get down these roadways. They become now impeded. And we can't have that, because every couple of minutes, that these emergency workers get in there, and the delay, guess what? We lose lives. So please don't respond to the area and listen to the information.
And Sergeant Felipe, I know we're still waiting for additional information from authorities as to exactly what's going on. But what do you think they're doing right now? What do you think they're doing in the area? It's clearly blocked off to people who live close by. But what are they looking for? What are they trying to investigate, at least in hopes of getting the suspect to come out?
It is a difficult situation. So the most important thing is what? Intelligence gathering. Let's see who this individual is, what's his motive. But at the same time, now we have a frozen area, because at any moment, gunfire could erupt. So here we are trying to conduct an investigation while you're still in a very, what we call a hot zone. So at this point, you're kind of balancing the information gathering, making sure that individuals are also safe if any sort of medical aid is needed, and also how do we address the situation to keep everything under control. So it's a multifaceted type of investigation, hostage negotiation, and how do we respond if things really get, violence escalates.
Oh, yeah. Sergeant Felipe, thank you so much for your insight.